Hello everyone, it is Crescent. I hope you are doing well. I am sending you love, I am sending you blessings, I am sending you light, sending you positivity, all that good stuff. I'm sending it your way. If you choose to receive it, that is amazing, and if not, no worries, no hard feelings. Alright, let's dive into it. So this is Manifestation Monday. If you do not know what this segment is, basically what I do is I look at the energy of the week ahead and I help us learn how to process it. I help us learn how to deal with it, okay? Sorry if I seem to get distracted or if I have to sip my water. There is currently a heat wave happening right now, but everyone is working inside, so I can't really do what I need to do indoors, okay? Perfect, okay. So I have the Page of Wands, the King of Cups, Three of Swords, and Page of Cups. Okay, so we have 2 pages right now, which is all about beginnings, okay, and actively doing something, receiving news. It has to do with cups and has to do with wands, okay? So that means that new emotions and new projects are kind of coming forward to us, okay? We're kind of learning how to embrace what is coming. And a lot of the times it could be very, very scary. It could be very nerve-wracking. It could be difficult for us to process. And the reason why is because when it comes to our emotions, right now we're in such weird and wonky territory. And we want to express how we're feeling. But when it comes to the wands, you know, that kind of brings me to Mars. And right now Mars is in Pisces, soon to be in Aries. Once it's in Aries, things are going to be like zoom. But right now it's very clouded, very confusing. We don't really know how to act. We don't know the best way to act. So right now it's best that we kind of like hold back. However, Page of Wands very much like, let's do this. I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to act. I want to do something. I'm bored. Let me do something. Okay. And especially with the emotions, it's kind of like you are craving something new, okay? If you look at the card, the Page of Wands is kind of like freely dancing, like, yes, I can do what I want, I'm so excited. And then the Page of Cups is looking at something new, it's embracing this new change, okay? And that kind of brings us to the King of Cups, okay? He's sitting there and he is allowing these waves to kind of hit behind him, right? And this is very symbolic because it's kind of like water represents emotion. So all these emotions are going basically stirring up and going crazy behind him. But here he is waiting patiently, calm, staring at his little bowl on his knee that isn't even falling off, right? It's still there, and he's allowing himself to rest in his chair. And he is aware of everything that is around him, but he's not letting it control him. So it's kind of the feeling of getting in control of your emotions, which is kind of what we have to do here. All right? And things are getting very difficult because of, you know, us feeling pessimistic about what is happening around us feeling like we can't really do anything. It's very difficult for us to feel motivated, for us to feel like, yeah, I can do something about it, you know. And I'm getting all this information from this Three of Swords, all right? The Three of Swords is all about heartache, and it's all about stress and just pessimism and just feeling like we can't really do anything to help ourselves. And it really does suck. And me looking at the cards, it's kind of like the king, he's looking towards the Three of Swords, right? So we're trying to process our emotions, but we can't help but like kind of go back to that pain that we felt and feeling a little pessimistic. And it doesn't help because we have all of this crazy stuff happening behind us, but here we are kind of just like, yeah, well, that really sucked. You know, and it did. We're allowed to feel upset, we're allowed to feel drained, we're allowed to feel annoyed even about the current situation that we're dealing with, and how we handle our emotions, that's up to us. You know, there's no right or wrong, but there is a productive and unproductive way of doing so, okay? Now I'm going to go into my oracle deck. So we have the blue flame, which is spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time, and we have empathetic stress, which is energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. Okay, so it's kind of is adding more detail to what I was talking about before. And again, I'm feeling pulled to the Three of Swords and absorbing what is not yours. So it's kind of like this pain that you're witnessing, and this pain that you're feeling and you're kind of accepting as your own. It's not yours. You know, it is not your pain. And this isn't me saying like, oh, if it's not your pain, then why should you care? It's just you have to understand that it's not your pain, so you can't treat it as if it was your pain, all right? Because if I feel sorry for someone who scraped their knee, I can't fix how I feel about that situation by treating my own knee if my knee isn't scraped. You know what I mean? So what we have to do is we have to help that person with their scraped knee. We have to disinfect it. We have to put a Band-Aid on it. We have to help them. And if they do not want to get help, that's not our fault. That's not on us. We can't blame ourselves for that, okay? We need to be able to stay and protect ourselves, protect our own energy, because we need to understand that, yes, we want to help, we want to be caring, we want to help others, especially in a very stressful time like this. But if they're not accepting our help, then you can't stress yourself too much about it, okay? Maybe they don't want the type of help you're giving, so ask them, okay, well, if you don't want me to do this, well, what can I do to help you, okay? And if they're saying, well, all you need to do is listen, all you need to do is, all you need to do is listen, all you need to do is defend me, you know, you have to help me, but don't help me directly by talking to me about it and being like, oh, don't worry, I won't do this to you. Like, help me, by defending me, you know, when you see it happen, you know, speak up for me, help me out that way. Okay, when it comes to stuff like that, that's something we can do, okay? And yeah, it may be draining, it may be hard, but it's something that has to be done, okay? So, being said, we have to understand that it's not our own pain, so we can't decide how to best heal it and best deal with it, okay? And again, spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time, that kind of ties in with all of the new beginnings, okay? So the stuff that we're now dealing with, stuff that we're now processing, it's very new, and we don't really know how to handle it because it kind of literally just sprung up on us. It was a very spontaneous awakening, and I don't want to say it was a rude awakening, but it wasn't like a very gentle, like, hey, are you up? It was very much like, hey, by the way, this is happening, we gotta deal with it, okay? So it was very spontaneous. It was very overwhelming in that regard. And looking at these cards, you see this imagery. This is all about observing what is not ours. You see this lady, she's going into the mirror, and she's kind of like touching it, and we kind of get the sense that she's going to go through it as if it was a portal. Okay, and this one, there's this blue figure in the doorway, and it's kind of about, you know, stepping into the unknown, because this doorway, we don't know where it leads. We do not know where it leads. So us helping others, us fighting for others, us being awakened to the realities of what's going on in our lives, we don't know where it's going to take us, but we can't turn back and ignore it because now we see it, you know. And if we don't handle it properly the way we would like to, we're going to always have that what if, and what if is always going to be the worst. So you really don't want to have to suffer the what ifs, okay? Okay, I'm going to look at the bottom of the deck to see what issues are that are being dormant but are still affecting us. 5 of Wands, okay? There's a lot of argument, there's a lot of yelling and conflicting. I'm hearing name calling. Just a very negative time, okay? And we're all fighting and we're all arguing, but we need to ask ourselves, why are we fighting? Why are we arguing? Why are we automatically in the defense and we're not communicating, all right? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's always wrong to fight, but I'm just saying maybe don't start a conversation ready for a fight, okay? By being understanding, by trying to reason, because here's the thing, if you know you're right, if you know that you're correct, then there's no reason to get angry and defensive right away, okay? Sorry about that, it got cut off there. But I believe I was talking about the underlying issue, which was the Five of Wands. And basically what this card is telling us is that when it comes to dealing with our emotion, when it comes to dealing with the arguments, it's kind of like, why are we fighting all the time? Why are we so quick to be on the defensive? You know, if we know we're right, if we know we're not in the wrong, then we shouldn't be starting these arguments already eager to fight, okay? And I know a lot of us are not like that, and that's not me saying that you need to be complicit with stuff that is clearly wrong. What I'm trying to say is that you should always start off trying to educate. You should always start off giving the person the benefit of the doubt, and then once they prove that they're not worth it, once they prove that they're not going to listen, then yeah, argue, defend yourself, okay? Fight for it, okay? Because you know you're right, and even if you try listening to their side and you know, okay, no, you're wrong, and you explain why they're wrong in a very polite, full way, and they're still not getting it, then yeah, feel free to cut them off. Feel free to be like, whatever, I'm not dealing with this because clearly you're not willing to educate yourself. Here I am trying to have a conversation and you're bringing up points that I'm proving to you to be wrong, and you're not listening. So that's not on me, okay? You tried. As long as you can say you tried, don't worry about it. Don't stress about it, okay? Don't absorb the stress that's not yours, okay? When they start getting defensive, when they start getting angry, because they're realizing that they're wrong, and they realize that you're not budging, when they realize that, what's going to happen is you might end up picking up on that, and then you might get defensive. And then once you get defensive, once you get angry, and once you get, when you start defending yourself, but in a very assertive and aggressive way, they're going to be able to point their finger at you and be like, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You don't know how to communicate. You don't know how to argue properly. Like, if you really believe what you were saying, you wouldn't be this mad right now, blah, 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 blah. Like, they would try to manipulate you, and they would try to make it seem like you're going bonkers. But you're not, okay? So believe in yourself, have faith in yourself, because, you know, things are not as bad as it may seem, okay? And that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being part of the family. I really hope you subscribe. And if you do, that would be amazing. Ring the bell so you know next time I post. I'm going to try to post at least weekly for the Manifestation Monday. We'll see how it goes. If you want to look at my other readings, they're over here. Okay. So yeah, thank you so much. And I really hope I will see you next time.